Alright, y'all, so y'all better get y'all Zach Nicotels, your P90s, C4, holla at your Jafar friends, because we about to step into the Stargate. How y'all doing? It's the audio lover. I've been trying for a while to figure out how to implement Stargate, one of my favorite sci-fi, actually my number one favorite sci-fi franchise, honestly. And I've been trying to figure out how to implement this franchise on my channel. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, and I figured there's no better time than now since they got rumored upcoming shows. We got upcoming content in the RPG coming out in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Hopefully, we're gonna see what happens with that. As well as I've been binge watching Stargate like a mug. So first and foremost, if you're on my channel and you're subscribed and you don't know what Stargate is, I'm gonna give y'all a brief, real quick rundown, real quick, because in all honesty, I'm gonna be doing a slew of these videos regularly on my channel, and I don't want y'all to get lost. So really quick, a Stargate is basically what you see in my background. It's this big giant ring that allows you to transport to other planets when you activate it. So simply put, it's this big ring. There's another device that's kind of connected to it. You really don't see no wires or anything. It might be under the background or some Wi-Fi signal. Who knows? We don't know who built the Stargate. Well, we kind of do know after a while if you watch this franchise, if you watch a couple of the shows. But truth be told, really quick, you dial in a sequence of 7 digits or 7 characters on this device that we call a DHD. On Earth, we don't really have one, or our power source for the DHD is kind of kaput, really. So we use like a supercomputer to dial in 7 characters on this device, the 7th character being the place of origin, and you get to connect to another planet. So only one Stargate can be active on a planet at said time, which is considered, the primary. But anyway, let me make it real brief. So basically, you get to transport from one planet to another, and that's really the nitty gritty of what a Stargate is. Now, the Stargate franchise in and of itself is a sci-fi military kind of a show and movie. There's a couple of movies out, 2 direct to television movies, as well as the original movie that kind of set it all off. Basically, the premise of the original movie is back in the late 1920s, the scientist professor found this Stargate. It was not active, obviously, in Egypt, and our military, the U.S. military, happened to get their hands on it because, they tried to figure out what it was for. And no one knew what it was for. They kept it secret for quite some time. And honestly, at least right now, it's still kept secret. We don't know. We haven't had anything significant in Stargate in about a decade since this video has been recorded. So like Stargate Universe was like the last actual show that came on sci-fi in America, and that was back in 2011. I'm recording in 2021. Yeah, we did get Stargate Origins, but us as a community, we really don't talk about that one. That one is not, it's kind of like our least favorite. It's the one we really try to not talk about, other than Stargate Infinity, which no one ever really talks about. But other than that, so that's pretty much kind of the rundown. The U.S. government gets it, specifically the U.S. Air Force. They get it. They're trying to figure this thing out for about a year or two. They recruit this scientist who's studying ancient Egyptian, and he basically has this theory that the ancient Egyptian pyramids were not built by humans on Earth. And pretty much that's kind of where this damn movie starts, and kind of the whole premise of the show and franchise, in truth be told. And you're kind of thinking like, really, that's the premise, right? But in all actuality, they recruit him because the US government, the Air Force, is trying to figure out or crack a code to basically unlock the Stargate. He kind of unlocks this thing in like 7 days, which is pretty much the dialing sequence to open the Stargate to go to another planet. And when he does that, they send a team through. Something happens, blah, blah, blah. Please watch the movie. I don't really want to spoil it for y'all, on this video. We are going to be talking about it in subsequent videos, but pretty much that's how it all starts. And they start traveling to different planets, things like that. They encounter this big bad, or basically a whole bunch of big bads in all reality, and things go from there. We realize we're not alone in the universe. There are other cultures. The Egyptian pyramids were built as landing platforms for alien ships. Like, it's a whole bunch of craziness in this sci-fi universe, which makes it so unique and so good and so grounded, because basically the setting of this show is set in present day time, or present day whenever it was filmed. Like, the original was filmed in 1994, so it was basically present day 1994 at that time, as well as the shows 97, those kinds of things. So you kind of see it grow, and you kind of see that our technology from the late 90s to the early 2000s grow as well, even though we start acquiring alien tech and supposedly integrating some tech with the show. So first and foremost, or after all that, let's get into what I kind of will be talking about on this platform as far as my channel and with Stargate. We heard some rumors that Stargate is going to be having an animated series coming on Netflix, and that's kind of been the deal as far as recently, because we also heard that one of the executive producers a while back, Brad Wright, was supposed to be in talks with MGM, and this is prior to MGM kind of going up for sale, selling all their franchises out or whatever the case may be, trying to bring back a new Stargate franchise, a new Stargate show, so you will. Before that, we heard that MGM was looking to revamp the franchise altogether and do a brand new trilogy film with the original directors and producers of the film. So there's like been a whole bunch of talk and speculation, and we really don't know what's going on with live action as far as Stargate, or even visual as far as Stargate. But we do know currently that we are getting an Stargate RPG, and it's not what you think. It's not what I thought originally. I thought it was going to be, when you say RPG, it's going to be a video game, because I'm all for that. Yeah, I know I like my video games, but this is actually going to be a tabletop RPG. And I ain't never played no damn tabletop RPG in my life. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was kind of like, but at the end of the day, I'm a Stargate fan. And I always kept my options open and my mind open. I was always open-minded as far as tabletop is concerned. I just never had the opportunity to play one. So given the opportunity with Kickstarter, I decided to help out with the Kickstarter. And now I got my book on the way. Well, I don't know when it's on the way, honestly. Hopefully it's going to be on the way soon. I gave him my address and all that. Hopefully, it gets here before I start to move and all that. But we're going to see what's up. My name is going to be in the book because I did the Kickstarter where I'm actually going to get the physical copy of the book or whatever the case may be. Maybe I might do some add-ons. We'll see what I do with the die or whatever. But honestly, I'm a huge Stargate fan, so that's why I wanted it. And the RPG is actually set in the Stargate SG-1 universe, right? Like, MGM kind of licensed it off to Wyatt Gaming, which is the gaming company, the tabletop gaming company, and they did like some really, really cool promo for this thing. My bad. But they did some really, really cool promo for this thing, including having a couple of actors from the Stargate franchise, including SG-1 and SGU and Atlantis. They had David Blue from Stargate Universe. They had a couple of characters from Stargate Atlantis, as well as Stargate SG-1. Like, the promo for this thing, they did like this 2.5, 3 hour bit on a campaign. Actually, one of the first campaigns I've ever really watched, like for real, outside of some D&D stuff that I was like really interested in. I have seen some D&D stuff before. Like I said, I've never played it, but I've watched it online, especially during this quarantine situation that we're currently in as I'm recording. But other than that, man, like, I'm gonna be doing a lot more Stargate content on here. I want to talk about, basically seasons 1 through 6 as it relates, or as we can move and progress going into the Stargate RPG for SG1, the SG1 RPG, which is actually set not in the SGC, but in an alternate site, and not even the alpha site, but it's called the Phoenix site. So basically you're able to play as one of the alien roles that kind of align or ally themselves with the humans of Earth, aka the Tari. It may be, the Tok'ra or the Jaffa or some other alien species, or you could even still be a Tari, you already know. But there's also a whole slew of things that's going on during this season 6. And like I said, I'm gonna be talking about all this stuff in subsequent videos. Just right now, I just wanted to kind of give you the lay of the land, run you down on what I'm going to be trying to do as far as Stargate content on here, because like I said, I'm a huge fan of Stargate. I watch David Blue on Twitch. Like, I love Stargate SGU. Stargate Universe was like one of my favorite. Honestly, I know a lot of people are like, yo, you tripping. You ain't even trying to listen to me. But like, honestly, I feel like Stargate Universe was that serious in the franchise that they wanted the audience to grow, or they felt the audience was ready to grow with the franchise. Like, it was a much more mature, a little bit darker, and it just felt kind of like right. Like, even with the communication stones and all that, and when we get to Stargate Universe, we're gonna definitely be talking about that after we talk about the RPG elements. But I'm also gonna be talking about what could be the future of Stargate as well. Like, what's the future of the franchise? Should they do a soft reboot? Should they do a hard reboot? Should they do a continuation, especially after a decade and seeing all this new technology? Could the Stargate be known to the public at this point? Like, would it have been known to the public at this point? I feel like it's one of those shows that's like, it kind of peaks to our reality, and it kind of shows our reality a bit. So like, when you watch the show, you're like, yo, this could actually be possibly happening right now. So I would definitely understand if it's not in our reality, not open to the public. We have seen some episodes in Stargate SG1 where it is available, or the public finally knows about the Stargate, and how do they react to that kind of thing. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more Stargate content. I'm going to be doing some interesting content other than Stargate as well. So definitely keep yourself locked on this channel. I'm going to be doing regular things with Stargate and other tabletop, well, specifically one more tabletop game that I was able to contribute to a Kickstarter, and I'm really open to. But this one's like a tabletop and an MMO at the same time. So yeah, definitely gonna be hearing more about that. But like I said, Stargate, keep it locked here. It's gonna be regular, probably like every week or so. I'm gonna be talking about more Stargate content. I definitely love to hear from you what you think about the news about the anime series, as well as the tabletop. Are you getting the tabletop? Have you ever played a tabletop game? Did you get to see some of the promo they did for the Stargate RPG tabletop with David and David and David? There's like 3 Davids on there. And Rainbow. And finally, I just want to say, keep it locked in. I'm the audio lover. Make sure you already know all living organisms vibrantly expressing reality are welcome on my site, or welcome on my channel, or welcome on my content. And comment, like, subscribe. You can find me on almost every platform. Scratch that. I'm not on every platform. You can definitely find me on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Also Clubhouse, and now TikTok at The Audio Lover. Until next time, peace.